welcome to my channel again. Happy new year. I'm hoping and I'm praying that this new year will be an awesome one for all of us. So today we're going to be cooking jollof rice. Have you heard that before? Jollof rice. And so many people know how to cook jollof rice, but there's so many that don't also know how to cook or cook in different ways. So I'll show you the way that I cook my jollof rice, okay? And today I'm going to be using basmati rice. So I've got about 1.5 kg of rice in here, and then I've got some tomatoes, I've got some big red pepper, some onions, some scallop nuts, and some puree. Okay, but first of all, what I'll do, let me boil my water, and then I've cooked my chicken, and I'm gonna just put that in the oven because I'm gonna use the stock of it. Take the cook your chicken meat. If you're vegetarian or vegan, you don't have to use stock. You can just use boiling water and then put your seasoning in. Okay, so depending on if you like meat, if you don't, it's just if you like meat, then it's always nice have your the stock from your meat or your chicken. Always nice to have it with your rice, so it just gives you a little bit more nicer. So I'm going to be using that sauce or that stock for to put my rice into, so that I don't have to put too much seasoning in there anymore. So that can go straight into the oven. Since we're not talking about chicken today, you don't need to worry about that, but I just wanted to show you that. So very quickly, I'm going to blend my things together. So I've got my plum tomato here. You can use fresh tomatoes as well, so depending on what you prefer, you can use whichever. I use plum tomatoes because it's just quicker and it's always there, so you don't have to go to the shop every time. I've rinsed my onions just before we started, so I'm just gonna, and I've peeled them, so I'm just gonna put them in. Pepper, scotch bonnets, depending on how much pepper you like. In my house, we don't really like a lot of pepper, or the kids don't like a lot of pepper, so I don't cook with a lot of pepper. So because this one's, a lot of the times I just use a big one big one, but because this has 2 small ones, I've taken out the stalk, and then I'm just gonna use those ones. And then big red pepper, I'll rinse that. Quite a few people do this in very different ways. Some take out the whole seed and I don't. I just take out this bit, just the top bit, and then I'll cut that up into there. If you're one of those that don't like the seed, some says that makes the things sour. I don't see that happening to mine. So, but if it does to yours, then feel free to take it out. I put the whole thing in. I just take out the stalk, okay? And then I'll put a little bit of water to rinse out the plum tomato, and I'll just I'll use that and then blend together. For me, that's smooth enough, so you can see that. So that is smooth enough. And then pour it into my stock. And then I'm going to use my boiled water to rinse that out so that it stays all nice. So I think the reason why I'm using, fine, you can use cold water, but the reason why I'm using boiled water is it makes your cooking go a bit faster than you don't have to wait till it boils up again. So I'll rinse those, put that in there for now, and then I'll put that on. So I'm gonna put that on 7, or I'll start off with 7, so that can stay there. And then I'll put just mix it a little bit, and then put in your puree. Some like a lot of puree, some it depends on how much rice you're cooking. So I just put, I think I will use all of that. So that's about 400 grams of tomato puree. You can use less, you can use more. The thing to do there is to actually let that cook. So I'm gonna let that cook for a bit, and then I can go. Let's not waste anything. So I'll rinse that out into there. So that is all. Okay. I can go in the sink. Wash my hands. So I'm gonna let that cook for a bit. But while that is cooking, the way to save time, I'll put my seasoning in at the moment. So I like using all-purpose. It just adds everything in it. So you can use all-purpose. You can use chicken seasoning. You can whatever you like using. I'm using a scoop, so I'm gonna be using 3 scoops of that. I prefer to use more seasoning than use a lot of salt. So if I put 3 scoops into that and just a tiny little bit of salt, just very tiny. So in my scoop, not even up to half of that, you know, and just put that in. If you cook with ginger, garlic, you can put that in at this stage. I'm not doing that today. A lot of the times I put in garlic and ginger, but I haven't got that today, so I'm not even gonna bother. So you can put as minimum, as much as you want, and then just let that boil, and then you can taste it a bit later when it's all cooked properly. But while that is boiling, now I'm gonna increase it to 9, just so that I can, 9 is my maximum number on my thing. So depending on what yours is, I'll put it on 9, let it boil quickly while I rinse this. Quite a lot of people rinse their rice in different ways. I like to rinse mine with warm water. Some says rinse it with cold water. I find out that you don't get a lot of the starch out if you do that. So unless it affects your rice, it doesn't affect mine. So I'm just going to rinse it in warm water. You can tell, if I show you, you can see how the color, you know, that's the starch coming out of that. So just rinse that. I tend to rinse mine as much as like 3, 4, 5 times, depending on how long it takes for the color. For the color to actually for the starch to all be removed, I'll say. So just rinse another set, and then it's almost like you're washing it in, you know, like getting all the things in, you know. Just rinse it out, almost like you're rinsing something out of the rice, which is the starch. You don't want too much starch in your rice, because then it would be all sticky and all of that. So you want to rinse as much as possible, and yeah, just rinse. This is the 3rd time we're rinsing that. So it's warm water. It's not hot, it's not cold, it's just fairly warm. It's not too warm, it's not too warm as well. So but it just helps to rinse it out. Okay, you can tell it's not as thick as it was before. So that's the 3rd time. Now you can see a lot of that liquid is cleared now. So you can rinse it more if you want, but I think that's well good now. So I'm putting my hand there just to stop any rice escaping, you know. Okay, smelling good. All right, so I'll leave that there. That needs to cook for another, you know, it's been on for like 5 minutes now. So I'll leave that for another 10 minutes, and then before I put my rice in there. Before I stop here, I'm just gonna get some oil. Put some oil in now. So I think for your sake, let's measure it. I know people like me measuring. So that's 1 spoon, 2, and 3. And I think that should be enough. I'll check a little bit later when, just before I put the rice in, but 3 spoons should be enough because already I'm cooking with the chicken stock, which has a little bit of oil in already. So all right, I'll see you back in 5 minutes and then you see what, Okay, so our sauce has been cooking now for about 15, so I'm just gonna open, but before I do that, I think that's too high, so I'll turn it down so that it's not splashing everywhere. So I'll turn it down a little bit to 2 while I do this bit. So mix it, everything is in it. You can tell, it's looking all nice and good. So that's what you want. It's still gonna cook a bit more. You can cook it longer than that. You can cook it for half an hour depending on how much time you actually have. That's good. So I don't need to pour anything else at this stage. That tastes really nice. So at this point, we're gonna pour our rice in now. So just put it in. Okay, so all of that in my pot. And then all right, so let's put that there. Let's mix that together. Some people say don't mix it to the bottom of the pot so that it doesn't burn. At this stage, it's okay to mix it up the way. And then after this, we're gonna let it be for a while till it's cooked properly. So you can tell it's all submerged into that sauce, and that's what you want. You don't want your sauce to be too little. You want it to be, by the time you put your rice in, it's all submerged into it. So it's like a rice sauce at the moment. So then I'll put a little bit more water. So up to there, that should be good. I'll do that. Just mix it one more time. And then just leave that alone for about, 20 minutes. Have a look. Instead of putting it up the way back to 9, I'm gonna do it all to 6 so that I can slowly cook but still cook well. If it's more than that, depending on what, if you're using a gas hob, then just turn it down a little bit. Don't put it on full power, just so that it can cook properly and it doesn't burn so quickly as well. You don't want half of your rice gone into burning. So that's gonna leave that, let that cook for about 20 minutes, and then I'll check back on it and see if I need more water, more seasoning, or anything else. All right, so that's for now. Okay, so it's been cooking. Jollof rice has been cooking for 20 minutes. So just gonna check it. So I'm gonna put that down, and then let's check. Okay, so it's obvious that it's cooking nicely. Okay, you can see that. All right. So, but it's not cooked properly yet. So in 20 minutes, obviously it's not going to be cooked, but you need to check it at this stage. And I will use that also to taste it. So it's still a bit hard, but the seasoning is good. So I don't think I will add any more seasoning. Yeah, so the seasoning is good. Doesn't seem like it needs anything else. So I think I need a bit more water. Just a little bit more, just so that I can help it to cook to the end. And then we'll be ready to serve in another 10 minutes, I'll say. So yeah. All right, so I think rice should be ready, jollof rice. So let's try, let's see what it's looking like. Okay, it's looking good. And the texture looks more soft and cooked. So I'm just going to mix it all together. So just mix it all together just so that you can make sure that everything is, you can tell my pot is well full. You don't have to make it as full as this. So that you can mix more properly. Yeah, so just mix everything around, and then it's ready to serve. I'm gonna taste it, just make sure that it's all ready. Yeah, okay, so that's cooked, that's no longer hard, and then we can dish it. So you can serve that with chicken, with meat, with fish, whatever, you know, whatever you like to serve it with. Okay, so and then I can, you know, just at least you can see, put some chicken in. So let's put some chicken, and yeah, let's get that ready to go, nice and good. And I'm just gonna wash my hands. So you can have that with some veg, you can have that with, you know, let me cover this, and we're ready to have dinner. Okay, so we're gonna go and have dinner at this time, but let me taste on your behalf. So I'm helping you to taste this. That's good. So that's jollof rice done, all cooked nicely, you know, all lovely. So it's time to eat. Let's tuck in and enjoy jollof rice. Okay, I will see you in the next video. Oh, before I see you, you would have tried this out, and you can tell me how it tastes as well. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button as well, like and share with as many, you know, if you know any of your friends that's been talking about jollof rice, now they know how to cook it. So and then if you have any questions, any comment, please put it below as well, and I hope to see you soon.